wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Now bring us a belly ring, now bring us a belly ring, now bring us a belly ring, and bring some out, bring some out.
Good tidings we bring to you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For we all like figgy pudding.
For we all like figgy pudding.
For we all like figgy pudding, so bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
everyone. We are the Centerville Community Chorus, and on behalf of our entire group and our director, Brett Greenwood, we would like to welcome you to our Christmas program, A Cappella Music Through the Ages. Now, I hope most of you made a stop at our refreshment table on the way in, but we're trying to be a little more casual here, so if the urge for a cookie strikes you in the middle of the program, feel free to make your way buffet back there anytime, so I think there's plenty of food. As I said, our program is titled Acapellic Music Through the Ages. And as the name implies, we're going to give you a little history lesson and take you on a journey of Christmas music from many centuries ago to songs that you might hear on the radio today. The first two pieces that we just heard were played for you by Michelle Nervost. Now, Michelle is our regular accompanist, and she obviously helps us through all of our rehearsal process, and she had a big role in helping us prepare for today's program. But since we're singing today without accompaniment, we wanted to feature her so that you get to appreciate all of her talents that we get to see all the time. So the two songs she played were of the Father's Love Begotten and O Come, Emmanuel, and are both very early Christmas carols based on ancient text dating back as early as the 9th and 10th centuries. Many centuries ago, Christmas music was based on Bible verses and sung as a chant, which is much less melodic style than we're used to singing today. So we're going to start off by having Aaron and Melanie come up, and they're going to sing some chants that are excerpts from a centuries-old Christmas Mass. We're going to follow that up with an absolutely beautiful piece that is an example of a very old text dating back to 1420 that's been made more current by being put to a more melodic piece of music. This piece is one of the best-known medieval carols that came from a manuscript roll of carols that is now in the library of Trinity College in Cambridge. It is called There Is No Rose of Such Virtue, and it will be sung for you by a small group comprised of Brett, Aaron, Judy, Kristen, Christy, Carolyn, Ginny, and Melanie. So, we're absolutely thrilled today to welcome our special guest, Jim McCutcheon. Jim's going to come up right now and play for you a medieval medley, and he's going to be playing on the lute. It's a trio of melodies, including Masters in the Hall, which is a carol based on an old French dance tune, Lule, otherwise known as the Old English Christmas carol called the Coventry Carol, and a 16th century English traditional Christmas carol that's actually one of the oldest existing carols, but one you're going to be very familiar with, called God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Jim McCutcheon. a trio of pieces that all come from the 15th and 16th centuries. The first is called Boar's Head Carol, and it's, I'd like to call it a rather boisterous 15th century English Christmas carol that was sung to start the Yuletide celebration feast. That will be followed by Gaudete, a sacred 16th century Christmas carol sung in Latin. Gaudete means rejoice. That piece will feature Jim, Sue, Kristen, Mare, Jenny, and Melanie. The third song in this group is another carol that's written in Latin called Angelus Ad Pastores Ait, which means, angels then to the shepherds say. The words of the carol translate as, the angel said to the shepherds, I announce to you a great joy, that today is born for you a Savior of the world, and he shall be called a mighty God. Hallelujah. So here's Boar's Head Carol, Gaudete, and Angelus Ad Pastores Ait.
Gaudete, Gaudete, Christus est natus, ex Maria Virgine Gaudete. Gaudete, Gaudete, Christus est natus, ex Maria Virgine Gaudete.
Verbus antes graciae, facora ubanus, carmina latixiae, devote
and Michelle. First, Jim will be performing a piece from the Baroque period, which is the Western European musical period dating from about 1600 to 1750. This particular piece was written in the early 1700s by one of the Baroque period's major composers, Johann Sebastian Bach, and it's called Jesu, Joy of Man's Design. That's going to be followed by Michelle on the keyboard with the familiar Old English folk tune called Greensleeves. This tune was later put with text to become the very familiar Christmas carol, What Child Is This? but it was written by an unknown person in the 18th century. It's been set to music by a number of composers and may be an allusion to the tree of life, which is a biblical metaphor representing Christ. The song is now performed by choirs around the world, especially during the Christmas season. It's called Jesus Christ, the Apple Tree. That's going to be followed by a piece based on a 1779 poem by Thomas Moore, and is an English choral song that was originally arranged by Irish composer Charles Villiers Stanford. The version that we're going to be singing today for you was arranged by the contemporary English choral music composer, conductor, editor, and arranger John Rutter, and it is called Quick We Have But a Second. with a trio of familiar songs that all originated in the 17 and 1800s. It was also around this time that secular songs began to enter the picture. This medley will feature Silent Night, Jingle Bells, and Joy to the World. Our treat for you today is that this medley will be performed for you by Mare and Masumi in Japanese. For Jingle Bells is Jingle Bells. Thank you, Mare and Missy. So we're now going to have Jim McCutcheon come up and do another number for you. He's going to help us move into the 20th century with a piece that's called Alleluia, which translates as The Child of the Mother. Now, it was an early 1900 Christmas carol from the Catalonian region of Spain. Please enjoy Jim McCutcheon with Alleluia. Graham as part of a collection of bedtime stories that he told his son about Mr. Toad, Mole, and several other animals that assumed human characteristics. These stories were eventually published in 1908 as The Wind in the Willows. Highly praised by the press and enthusiastically endorsed by U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, The Wind in the Willows soon became a classic, enchanting readers of all ages. This particular song we're going to sing for you is presented in the book as Carol of the Field Mice, but we know it as Joy Shall Be Yours in the Morning. Based on a Ukrainian folk chant, and it is called Carol of the Bells. We're going to follow that with two of the Alfred Burt carols. Now, Alfred Burt was a 20th century American jazz musician who is best known for composing the music for 15 Christmas carols between 1942 and 1954. Today we're going to be singing two of the Burt carols, Bright, Bright, the Holly Berries, and Caroling, Caroling.
Ding dong dong,
various musical time periods, I read that World War II marked a distinct change in the tone of popular Christmas music. After the war, people had nostalgic longing for better times, and that tone is reflected in the next few songs you're going to hear. Another interesting fact that I read, which actually has nothing to do with music, but it's certainly an indicator of the changing times, is that I read that in 1946, that was the first year that Hallmark began selling millions of Christmas cards. So the world was changing about that time. Both of the next two numbers were written in the 1940s. First, Michelle is going to play a song that was written by Sammy Kahn and composer Julie Syne in July of 1945. So they were in July, it was hot, and they were thinking of something cooler, and they wrote, "Let It Snow." That's going to be followed by Jim with a classic Christmas song written in 1945 by Bob Wells and Mel Torme. It's one of the most performed Christmas songs, and perhaps the most famous version of this song was recorded by Nat King Cole in 1946. You might recognize this song by its common subtitle, "Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire," but it's really called the Christmas song. So please enjoy Michelle playing "Let It Snow" and Jim McCutcheon on the Christmas song.
The master of the chateau said, "I think it's time for us to take a coffee break." So they hit their clocks, and everybody retired into the great hall where there was a great hearth, roaring fire. And, one competitor noticed a rival across the room and said, "Hey, remember 2 years ago I checkmated you in 10 moves?" Well, the competitor, not to be outdone, said, "Yes, but don't you remember, just last year I checkmated you in 9 moves. Well, what do you think about that?" And pretty soon, everybody in the room started taking sides. You can imagine these chess players are pretty intense people. And so it almost came to blows when the master of the chateau said, "Enough, enough. I have had quite enough of all of you chestnuts boasting by an open fire." I'll go back to my day job.
recorded many times over the years by many very famous artists, including Perry Como, Bing Crosby, Johnny Mathis, more recently Michael Bublé, and probably the most famous of all, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's called It's Beginning to Look Like Christmas. Addressed to Santa Claus by a woman who wants extravagant gifts such as sables, yachts, and decorations from Tiffany. Carrie, Sharon, and Carolyn are going to sing that for you. It's called Santa Baby. That's going to be followed by a song, with a song by an artist who we don't really think of when we think of someone that's recorded a lot of Christmas music. It's a 1957 song most famously performed by Elvis Presley, and has become a rock and roll holiday classic. It's called Blue Christmas, and Andrew is going to come up for you on that one and present the words for you in sign language. So please enjoy Santa Baby, followed by Blue Christmas.
Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight.
I'm talking about here. It became hugely famous when it was performed in the 1954 American musical romantic comedy film of the same name, starring Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and Vera Ellen. It's called White Christmas. According to the Guinness World Records, the version sung by Bing Crosby is the best-selling single of all time. So we're going to put you all on the spot in this one because this is a great sing-along song. So please, you are more than welcome to sing along with us. And here is White Christmas. Or better known as just the Carpenters, and it was their first attempt at Christmas music. The song, with lyrics by Frank Puer and music by Richard Carpenter, was first released in 1970. Hope you enjoy Merry Christmas, Darling, with Carolyn on solo. we conclude our program this afternoon, I would just like to extend our thanks to all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend the afternoon with us. We hope you've enjoyed our musical program as much as we have enjoyed sharing it with you. We couldn't put on programs like this without the help of lots of people, so I'd like to take a moment to thank a few folks. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Epiphany Lutheran Church, Pastor Charlie Woodward for allowing us to use this facility for our public performances, and the Epiphany staff, Natalie, Kathy, Dick, and Andy, who were so helpful in helping us to prepare and doing the setup for us. I'd like to thank Ryan back there manning the sound booth for us today. The Miller family, they manned the raffle table out there, and there's still time. We got that gorgeous gift basket out there. There's still time to buy raffle tickets, so you can stop by there on your way out. I think Jim McCutcheon's got a little table out there too with some CDs. I'd again like to recognize our director, Brett Greenwood. Assistant Director Aaron Young. You'll see him out there directing us today, but let me assure you, he has done a lot to work with us to get us ready for today's program. Again, thank you to our accompanist, Michelle Nearbox, and our very special guest, Jim McCutcheon. Feel free to stay and have more refreshments. I think there's plenty of food there.
We don't want to take it home.
We don't want to take it home. We're also going to have some of our course board members stationed over there at the doors with some donation baskets. We're a nonprofit organization. We like to give these concerts, but we definitely depend heavily on donations to enable us to continue to bring programs like this to the public. So anything you can give is very truly appreciated. Thank you so much. So we're going to finish with a popular English Christmas carol from the West Country of England. The origin of this Christmas carol lies in the English tradition wherein wealthy people of the community gave Christmas treats to the carolers on Christmas Eve. This arrangement we're doing for you today is by John Rutter, and this is our wish to you.
Tidings we bring.
at the stroke of midnight. I think maybe we can ask Michelle and Jim to play along with us on this one. And it's called Old Long Syne, and it's going to feature Judy, Kristen, and Mel.